Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I'm sure the day that this video is going to be released, it will be way far from the payday, but I wanted to show you guys my payday routine. I just got paid, so I want to walk you through my thinking process or what happens actually when I get paid. Okay, so I let the debit order go off. I let people take their money actually, and I let it settle in. I only touch my money. I get paid on the 25th. I only touch my money on the 30th because the last day of the month or the first day of the next month, because that's when the last debit order goes off. I think it's my debit order for fiber, so then I am able to actually review, right? But maybe before we get there, one of the things that I have learned to actually do, which is interesting because this time it actually materialized into something tangible, is actually look into my pay slip. I read my pay slip, I look into deductions if these are the things that I actually I'm familiar with, or if it's in alignment with what I'm supposed to get. Most of the time, those things are the same because my take home end up becoming the same, so there was nothing to be alarmed about. But when the pay slip is sent, I think 2 days before our payday, I actually view it and actually see what's happening there. And surprisingly, this time I actually found that I was debited 400 and something rand for medical aid, and I was surprised because my medical aid is actually covered by the company, right? So I ended up inquiring with the payroll and they told me that there was a mistake. So imagine guys, if I didn't actually check, my 500 rand would have just been lost to thin air because I don't know which medical aid it was gonna go to because mine is covered. Okay, so this is one tip that I'm giving right away, and it's because now it actually, I found something, but it's something that I've always been doing actually, to check my pay slip. So look into your pay slip and see if it's in alignment with what you're expecting. Okay, so and then again I mentioned that I let the debit order goes off, and then the day that the last debit order goes off, I actually do a review. So I compare, go to my statement on my phone, compare what actually went off versus what I have as my budget. I normally have my budget on written down, right? So I actually compare what has gone out versus what is in my budget, right? So I got my expenses. I have fixed expenses being in one category, and that will be my bond, my car insurance, car tracker, a body of corporate, and funeral covers and insurances, and then fiber, etc. Right? These are like fixed expenses that they go off through a debit order, and it is the same amount all over again. So things that I actually noticed during this month that was not there last month is that my car tracker expenses went up, and this is because I actually changed my cover. I used to pay 179 and I increased the features that I need to get from my tracker, and it went up to 353 from 179. And another thing that changed is actually the yearly increase for my fiber. It was 650, now it's actually 706, right? And also another interesting thing, and I'm gonna do a separate video about this, is that I used to pay 1.6 for my car insurance, and it went up this year to 1.9. I actually called them and I laid my case down, and they were able to reduce it to 1.2 with the same cover. And I'm underlying and putting it in bold that I didn't compromise the cover for that to happen. Okay, so that's what I actually do. So what then happens is that I have other expenses that are not covered within the fixed expenses that gets debited, things that I have to pay myself. That's what I do actually on the first. So my electricity, my water, municipality is things that I get to pay myself, so that's what I do before I could spend the money, right? So I also throughout the month write the groceries that is needed for the next month. These allows me to not just buy things, but buy things that I knew throughout the month that I needed, right? And now I'm actually eating healthy, so my budget is my grocery is actually weekly groceries, not monthly groceries, especially on the food side of things, because yeah, if you buy greens they will rot, right? So yeah, so I actually buy on a weekly basis. Another thing that I think is important to note is that I buy my non-perishable goods in bulk. I think I've made a video a long time ago about this. I use my bonus, my December bonus, to buy my non-perishable goods. So your detergents, your so forth, those kind of things, I buy them in bulk. And the reason why I do this is not only to get the discount, it's also so that my monthly grocery value is not too much. If you have gone to buy grocery with your detergent, your laundry detergents, your bathing soap, your cosmetics together, you know that you pay crazy amounts at a go, right? So for me, I rather separate that value aside, and I do it once in a while and I forget about it, so that my month to month running cost is little and I can have enough cash flow to myself to be able to survive and also cover other things. Okay, so my grocery value is not that bad and I'm glad about that. So I also allocate my pocket money, and I also allocate my fuel money, because this is something that comes randomly. I never know how long it lasts for me for fuel, right? So I put that money aside, not too far, but on the same, on an accessible account on the same bank. Okay, so that's what I have, actually nothing too drastic. That's what I actually do. But I also wanted to speak about my savings journey and maybe some of the things that I actually do to make my life more exciting, or my payday to be exciting, right? So you guys probably know that I am a fan of maximizing tax-free savings account. So I have this tracker. Ooh, I hope it's visible. I have this tracker. Yeah, so 1 star is equivalent to 3,000, and the total targeted amount is 36,000, because that's the maximum you can contribute on your tax-free savings account. So I will be shading each star as I contribute my 3,000 Rand for my tax-free savings account. And this is some of the templates that I'll be using for my journal. When I release it in December, you guys will be able to access it as well. So for January and February, I have not maximized my 2023 tax-free savings account as yet. So that means my tax year for 2024 will start in March. So January and February, I'll be trying to just catch up on my 2023 one. So I have deposited 22,500, so I'm left with 13,000. So I should be able to break it down in this 2 months to be able to maximize the 2023 tax-free savings account as yet. And you guys will be able to track it with me for 2024 using this template. Okay, that's something that I normally do. If I get money along the way, guys, I'll deposit it. But I was hoping to actually make a debit order for 30,000 Rand per month, so it goes off and I don't get to decide on a monthly basis, you know, to deposit the 3,000. And the reason for the debit order is that there is that administration cost that you get to be charged by Easy Equities if you don't deposit any money. So setting up a debit order will allow me to, you know, offset that admin cost, because then I would be depositing. Preferably, I prefer lump sum, to be honest, but anyway, it is what it is. Another thing that I'm actually doing, and if you guys are interested in saving challenges, this should be for you, because I'm saving for Christmas. So Christmas is actually a big deal at home. We actually spend and it's fun. But I want to be very intentional about it. My target is getting 6,000 Rand, so I'll be saving 500 Rand per month, and I'm also saving it on a it's not even a high yield account, just putting it aside at least for me to be able to have money in December and not depend on my sister and my mom, right? And also so we can enjoy. Okay, so that's also another thing that I'm saving aside for. I also have this that I'm trying to do for February. This is a no spend month challenge. So the goal for no spend month challenge is not for you to not spend, but it's for you to be cautious about the things in which you spend on. And this is actually important to do in January because you are coming from a high spending month, which is December. So for you to be able to get back into your cautious spending, you need to do the no spend challenge in January. But I'm doing it in February because January had a lot of lump sum moving in and out of my account, so I couldn't really track things nicely. So now that things have settled, I should be able to see what I'm gonna spend in and think about what I'm spending in. Was it justifiable? So I have tables here at the bottom which says reason, no buy list, an exception, right? So this is why I spent. This is totally a no buy, or this is an exception. So it kind of make you think about the things in which you buy, right? And if really they're aligned with your ultimate goal of what you're trying to do with your life. I love this so much because as for me, I prefer to actually maximize my income, and the more cents I can save by not spending senselessly, the better. Then I can allocate my money elsewhere where it will actually make a more impact. And the interesting part about this is then once you do it, you get to be very cautious about it. It could be negative because when you buy a smoothie that really is not part of your budget, then you kind of think about it too much. But again, as I mentioned, I have a pocket money budget. So therefore, if that is finished, then it's finished. But also, even when I have a pocket money, I need to also still feel it here. If I'm spending every day on my pocket money, then I get to see Uguti, Vele, this girl has a lot of pocket money that she can actually manage. So then maybe we need to reduce it. So this is going to help me with that. So I'll be detailing that, and I hope to do another payday routine so that I can give you feedback on all these 3 sheets that I've already given you that I'm tracking. Another interesting one that I'm starting to do is this one, social media 2024 income. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I am starting to take my social media as a brand, and therefore it should be monetized. And outside of monetizing it, I should be able to see what it is actually doing, and not only for money, but it's because I put too much time into this brand and I love it so much. So it only makes sense that I save the money that I make here. So I'm going to do it on a monthly basis, consolidated, because the income that comes here, it fluctuates. So I'm just going to write it like this. For example, as you can see, in January I have made 4,900 rand, and I kind of put details in terms of where it came from at the back. And there are some commitments that I have for February as well, which is equivalent to 6.6 that I'm expecting to receive. So I'm actually saving the money in a separate account, in my Capitec account. That's the account that I give away a lot, and I am going to track it and see if the time that I spend on this brand is actually worth it versus the income that I actually make. But ultimately, I get so satisfied with doing this, guys. I don't think that the income plays too much of a big deal, but just for compensation, and hence I want to consolidate this money so that I can do something tangible that is very rewarding for me, so that I can keep going. So ultimately, this is my my payday routine. And another thing that I want to maybe discuss is, you don't see maybe my own investments and whatnot. That's like too much, but it's part of the things which I track actually on a sheet such as this one. I just don't want you guys to have to benchmark how much you want to save based on what I'm saving. That love says a lot. Anyway, yes, that's the reason why I don't want to show how much I'm saving. But one thing that I can tell you is that the money that I save, it actually gets debited. To be honest, I don't want to be thinking on a monthly basis how much I should be saving. I should be caring about the spending and managing the young pocket money that I give myself. But the big decision are already made in January, and the day that I get paid, they get debited together with all other expenses. And that's what I appreciate about myself, because I create systems that allow me to achieve my goals without me putting effort on making decision on a monthly basis. That removes the manual intervention that I have to do from me, the burden of manual intervention from me, and then it's already set, right? And I can only manage what's remaining on the account, which is my pocket money and little expenses that I have to pay myself. So that's my payday. Please let me know what I might have missed that you're thinking about, or if you have a question in regards to how I manage certain things that you are curious about, and then we can talk about it, or any other tip that you have that you use for your payday that you feel like we can all learn from. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.